Hi, I'm L.A. Woodall, and welcome back to this month's Business Forum. We're fortunate enough today to have join us not only the new publisher, but the new editor as well from the Northwest Florida Daily News. Please join me in welcoming Diane Winnemuller and Bob Heist. Both are here with us today. And if I may, let's start with Diane, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. The newspaper has undergone some changes in the last few years, and I know as our new publisher, you've probably brought some great new ideas in terms of what that could look like in our marketplace. Can you talk to us a little bit about maybe some of the ideas that you have for the newspaper?
Absolutely. First and foremost, we want to grow the newspaper, our circulation and our footprint. But secondly, we really are focused on local news. There aren't many other agencies that can provide the kind of local news that we can. So we're very focused on local news. We're also focused on giving back to the community and being a leader in the community. So with that, we've recently started a new program that's called Celebrate Community, which is designed to help business owners get involved in helping their favorite charities. And we offer grants and in-kind goodwill certificates for nonprofits to be able to use to promote their events, their fundraisers, their mission, their vision in the newspaper. And that's done collaboratively through the business community when they participate in the Celebrate Community program. And that's something we just launched. We've got some great partners on board with us already, and we'll probably continue it through the year. We are focusing a lot of content on local charities and how they serve specific segments of the population because there's just so much good work going on in this community, and we want people to be aware of it.
Well, we certainly appreciate you and the newspaper for allowing an opportunity through your advertisers to help bring forth the information of some of the charitable organizations within our community and the things that they do. That's very generous.
Thank you.
I know too, Diane, that while you're somewhat modest, please tell us about your beginnings and how you wound up here from Asheboro, North Carolina.
Oh goodness. Well, my beginnings go back to 1979. I started in the newspaper industry and segued out of it into television and radio and other forms of media. And there's a saying in our business that the ink gets in your blood. And so I returned to the newspaper industry, particularly when we started to focus on being local and how we were going to transform our industry and save newspapers. They're such an important part of a community. And so I got re-energized and excited about the industry. It's been very transformative. It's a lot of disruptive innovation going on as people have started to consume news and information in different ways. So I was in Asheboro as the publisher for a small daily newspaper there called the Courier Tribune. I had been there for 6 years. I started with the company in Las Vegas. I was at the Las Vegas Review-Journal for 7 years. And so it was happenstance that I heard about the position in Fort Walton Beach on a conference call, and I put my name in the hat, and the rest is history. And my husband and I love it here, and we're delighted to be in this community, and we hope to retire here.
That's wonderful to hear. I will say that on a previous conversation you and I had, you expressed to me how much you and your husband were already enjoying the water in our area and becoming a little bit more acclimated to that.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being part of that. We also have with us today Bob Heist, and he's here from Mount Home, Arkansas. And
long way from home.
Long way from home. But we're so glad to have you here, Bob. And if you would start by sharing a little bit with us about yourself and how you wound up here.
That's an interesting question because I came from a different corporation, Gannett, which I had spent a number of years with, but an acquaintance of all things brought up Gatehouse Media, this opportunity in Fort Walton Beach. I had previously worked in Pensacola, so the opportunity to come back to the Panhandle, the Emerald Coast was very exciting, especially for my wife, because the trip to Arkansas was the opportunity to run my first paper. and we were doing very successful and brought some folks in. But to come back here, Diane, we talked about vision earlier. This is an exciting time. It's an exciting corporation company that we're with, and really looking forward. I've been here 2 weeks. I can't wait for 2016 to get here, and we have some strategic plans and some ideas that we're real excited about.
Wonderful. Diane, you did bring something new and innovative that I noticed since you've been here, and that was your advisory board. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. In the past, I had started a community advisory board at the Courier Tribune in Asheboro and found that it was just an outstanding way to get your finger on the pulse of what needs to be focused on, what we need to do to be a better newspaper, to serve the community. So we have an advisory board of 13 people that are volunteers. We try to make it a very diverse group so that we are not just pigeonholing and hearing from one segment of the community. And we meet once a month and talk about what we've done right, what we need to do better, what are some of the hot topics that need to be talked about, that maybe need a more in-depth look into. And it's just a great way to get positive feedback and good constructive criticism as well that will make us a better newspaper.
Excellent. Well, thank you for doing that. I know that this excited the community. Bob, can you tell us about any forthcoming editorial changes that we might be seeing?
Well, I think you're going to see a definite influx or focus on really impactful, in-depth stories. This is an exciting time to be in this business. The anchor is the newspaper for all the organizations, but the digital platforms are so huge. For where we have to go, how we have to connect with readers, because the changing demographic, you have the newspaper generation, and then you have the tablet, the smartphone generation. That's how they're consuming news, and that's what makes this exciting to go across, because we're certainly creating millions of page views each month, and the big impactful stories. I would say this week, the first one since I've been here, I thought we did a great job on, was to look at the shootings in 2015, and we've great response digitally from the newspaper readers. So those are the type of things, on top of really being community centric, as Diane was bringing up with the focus on what we're trying to be, but being impactful and meaningful certainly is where I think we can separate ourselves in the market.
Excellent. Well, you certainly brought a lot of good and new information to us here today and to our viewers, and we want to thank you so much for that. The Northwest Florida Daily News, as well as the other publications that you good folks put out in support for our community as a whole, are very important to us. I read your paper every day, cover to cover.
Thank you.
Because I'm an old newspaper guy, and you're right, once the print gets in your veins, it's a little bit hard just to get it out. So I want to thank you both so much for your time today. Appreciate you coming down, sharing this great information with us. We're going to look forward to the new and exciting things forthcoming. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this month's Business Forum. We thank you for being here with us, and we look forward to seeing you next month.